mynews.studio.
Elephants once vanished from Mozambique's Gorongosa Park, now roam in herds. How did war-torn wilderness become a global model for species recovery?
Today is 2025-06-18. Let's start at the beginning. Mozambique's Gorongosa National Park was once called the crown jewel of Africa. But civil war nearly erased it. By the mid-1990s, 95% of its large mammals were gone. Think about that. 95%. There were only about 100 elephants left, and zebras were nearly wiped out. What does a park even look like when almost all its wildlife has disappeared?
It's hard to imagine. In 1994, a survey counted just 7,000 animals, total. That's across the entire park. The ecosystem was broken. But the real turning point came in 2004 with the Gorongosa Restoration Project. It wasn't just a conservation effort, it was a complete rebuild. The Mozambican government partnered with the Carr Foundation, a US-based organization, to start from scratch.
So what did they actually do? Was it just about reintroducing animals, or was there more to it?
Much more. First, they brought back lost species: lions, hyenas, herbivores. Carnivores like lions and spotted hyenas were reintroduced to help restore ecological balance. At the same time, they started using new anti-poaching tools: trained rangers, drones, satellite tracking. Poaching dropped sharply. Recent surveys show no evidence of animals caught in snares. That's a huge turnaround.
But if the park was so devastated, how did local communities respond? They'd just come through war and depended on hunting to survive.
That's a key point. The restoration project put local communities at the center. Residents became rangers, guides, and park staff. They received jobs, education, and access to healthcare, even micro-enterprise grants. That changed attitudes. People saw real benefits from protecting wildlife instead of poaching. The project also worked with neighboring countries and NGOs, sharing knowledge and moving animals across borders to help populations recover.
This wasn't just about animals, was it? It was about rebuilding trust and livelihoods after conflict.
Exactly. By 2025, the results are striking. Over 110,000 large animals now live in Gorongosa, more than before the war. Elephants, buffalo, antelope, and remarkably, even rhinos are back. Sung rhinos came from South Africa, and now they're having calves in the wild. The park has become a model, winning international awards for its approach, combining science, funding, and crucially, local engagement.
What were the biggest challenges at the start? I imagine getting funding and convincing people to change must have been tough.
Absolutely. At first, wildlife numbers were so low it was risky to even try. Poaching was widespread. Communities needed alternatives to survive, which meant job programs and education had to happen alongside conservation. The long-term partnership, government, foundation, and communities was vital. It wasn't quick or easy, but it worked.
Is this model something other countries can replicate, or does it depend on something unique to Mozambique?
Experts say it is replicable, but there are obstacles. You need sustained funding, you have to build trust, and you have to adapt to each region's specific needs. The core lesson is that community involvement and international cooperation are non-negotiable. Technology helps, but local buy-in is the foundation.
And what about the impact on people's lives? Has the park's revival made a difference for local families?
Huge difference. Thousands of people now work as rangers, guides, in tourism, or in micro-enterprises like shade-grown coffee. Ecotourism dollars fund schools and clinics. People see the benefits every day, which reinforces the value of conservation. It's a feedback loop. More wildlife means more opportunity.
So the takeaway is that nature can recover even after devastation, but it takes more than just letting animals back in. It's about science, funding, partnership, and most of all, people.
Exactly. Mozambique's story is a beacon, a real-world example that with the right approach, even war-torn landscapes can thrive again.
That brings us full circle. elephants roaming where there were once empty fields. It's a model for post-conflict recovery, for conservation, and for sustainable development.
Thanks for joining us as we explored how Gorongosa became a global lesson in wildlife recovery and community resilience.
Thank you for listening. This episode was powered by the mynews.studio. Try now for free.